Man, probably a fun fact on me is that I like to read. Like I like to read. That's a lost art nowadays. Oh, my great uncle is Jesse Owens. He won 4 gold medals in 1936.
I always want to leave people with this, man, to all the viewers and everybody out there, man. Make sure you guys finish the story. Make sure you guys finish your journey because somebody's going to need it.
Yeah. All you got to do is push the back button. That's all you got to do. Push the back signal.
Try not to think about the future too much so you can maximize the now.
Who's your favorite rap artist?
Man, to be honest, it's crazy. Tupac always been my number one, right? Like he got me through so much stuff, but Lil Wayne has been in the modern day.
I said, what does it really take? What does it really take to be great, Drew? And he looked at me and he was like, you really want to know? And he was like, to be honest, everything you did to get here, you need to be consistent times 10.
Can't hear you. Yeah. Yes, sir. So what's out with it today, man? You coolin'?
Cooling like I'm doing, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Folks falling like rain. Probably got me selling things. Guess I'm gonna explain.
It's time to stop the record, man. Let's get this show started, man. What we got for today? What this is? This is the
Man, what's the damn deal, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's Wednesday night. Happy hump day to them folks out there. 2 days away from the weekend. We're back at it like we're mad at it. It's your boy, Coach Lee, chilling with the man over there, Uncle Leroy from the world-class, famous studios in Arlington, Texas, man. So how you doing today, man?
Oh man, look, I'm Gucci Manucci, man. You know, it's Wednesday. I'm back in the building in STWF Studios, live on a Nothing But Basketball show, man. So, you know, and hey, you know, and I got my dog up in the studio with me, live in the studio, man. My barber, you know, Darren Williams, Darren Williams. Darren J, man, from D Ski Cuts, aka D Black Cuts. But look, we got my dog up in here too, man. My brother right there. You know, we all up in this thing, man. But before we get the show started, we definitely got to reach all the way up there to the home of the Boston Baked Bean.
Yes,
and get our guy too in the building, man.
East Coast, the best coast, do the most. What up, guys?
Got to hold it.
2 days into the weekend, baby. As my
The East Coast is the geriatric coast.
Damn right, baby.
All right, so this is Wednesday, man. You know, one day from Taco Tuesday. So I mean, I guess we got to pop the question. So who ate tacos?
I did not eat no tacos. I had a burrito today, though.
What?
Hey, that's halfway there.
I mean, you get a pass. I mean, you way up there in Boston. I swear, I don't think y'all have real tacos.
Oh man, I was hooking up, man. I hooked up burritos for about 150 kids today. Shout out to the Western Other Boys and Girls Club. That's where I'm currently
wow.
right now. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? I had those burritos on the go. You know, my rolling skills, we ain't even gotta talk about it. You know what I'm saying? The combination of things that I had in there, from the beans, the rice, the salsa, the cheese, you know what I'm saying, the sour cream on the side, you know what I'm saying?
You said you had that on the go. So anyone who knows about burritos, know it's definitely on the go. You eat them and you got to go to the bathroom.
Yes.
So,
shout out to all them kids that ate today, man. I hope and pray them well on that toilet seat.
All right. So, before we get the show started, I see our chat is definitely, people tapping in already, man. Shout out to the chat. One thing about our shows, anything we do, they're interactive. So if y'all got a topic, if y'all want to talk about something, y'all just type it up, hit enter, and we'll bring it on the show and we'll talk about it. So if y'all got a topic, anything, y'all just type it up, hit enter, and we'll bring it up on the show. So, well, like I said yesterday, I had tacos for breakfast. And you know what? Ironically, I had Jack in the Box, a.k.a. Jack in the Crack. I had some tacos from Jack in the Box. And I think those would be the only tacos you put hot sauce on. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely one of the tacos you put hot sauce on. You know why? Because they resemble you in the hood. When you go into a Jack in the Box, you're just thinking with your hood mentality. And anything you choose for the less cheaper number that you can put for. Shout out to Jack in the Box. I've been there a few times, and definitely the spot to go when you're anywhere on the West Coast, down south, going towards Texas over there. I don't know if they have them in New Orleans and all that stuff.
Yeah,
but
we don't have that in New Orleans. But like you say, shout out to Jack in the Box because I fell asleep a couple times at the
drive-through.
Yes, order it. So hey, shout out to shout out to Jack in the Box in their after hours, man. But this is the Nothing But Basketball show. We got a lot of good stuff to talk about, and the high point of our conversation will be the Brittany Griner situation. So y'all definitely, we got a good show tonight. Y'all who's tapped in. Before we get started, let's see who's tapped in the chat. Do we got Dallas in the chat? Let's see. We got Dallas. Let's drop y'all.
We see you everywhere you calling from. I'm sorry, where you chilling from tonight?
Yeah, man. Don't you think we on the radio?
Yeah, that's next step.
Hey, I like that. I like that. So do we got New Orleans in the building? Where we at, New Orleans?
Question early in the game. Let's get it started. Should Boston trade Brown and others for KD? I'm gonna say this real quick. Yes, you have to roll the dice. No. You have to roll the dice if you're Boston. Me being a Bostonian and me being out here for so many years and watching the Boston Celtics literally try to wait for the right time to roll the dice, they have not, and they've been staying put. At some point, you're going to have to roll the dice. And I only say that because everything you tried to do hasn't worked. You got to the finals last year. Shout out to you guys. But at the same time, you didn't win it. So now you have to think to yourself, and I told people months ago that this situation with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum kind of reminds me of Antoine Walker and Paul Pierce when they was in Boston. One person had to leave eventually, and it was Antoine Walker. I'm not going to say Jaylen Brown.
That was because of the conflict of, I think it was personalities with those guys. But I mean, that trade doesn't make sense, bro. I mean, because at the end of the day, you're trading a young guy for an old fart. You're trading for a future Hall of Famer. You're trading 2 wannabe Hall of Famers in Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown for a future Hall of Famer, first ballot, top 5 player in the league, and Kevin Durant. I'm rolling the dice. We're in Vegas right now, and I'm taking the gamble because you have to take that type of gamble with a guy like that. Boston has not had a guy of this caliber since KG, and KG was old. So you're telling me you're not going to go get KD? Right. No, yes. I'm telling you that.
How long he going to stay there, man? He going to go play a season.
No, what's actually crazy, what's interesting is KD, before he signed with the Warriors, when he was a free agent, Boston was trying to lure him. And then Steph Curry and the crew said, hey, we want you to play with us. So people
he's not going to make it there, man.
Right. Okay.
He's too sensitive. They're going to eat him up over there.
Even though they love Kevin Durant.
They do, but we know how hostile those Boston fans are.
Wait, I heard a new word, Bostonians. I've never said that's what y'all call
love Kevin Durant.
Call them massholes.
Bostonians love Kevin Durant. The way they treat Marcus Smart and the way they treat Jaylen Brown as players, those guys should want to leave Boston right now.
Man, listen, we could tell you're here to sabotage the Boston, but
I'm not
trying to speak. You know what I'm saying? Like with a sound mind right now and the sound perspective.
Trying to build pieces.
There's no way that
they're not sacrificing nothing. You got to sacrifice stuff in the league. You pay.
But KD is clearly not the piece to make you to go to the finals.
Pay to win.
What happened to Brooklyn? What happened to Brooklyn?
You pay to win.
What happened to Brooklyn?
What happened to Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Ask Brooklyn. Ask the owners up there. Ask Shaw.
You know what happened, right? He gonna tell us that he told us it wasn't gonna work.
Hey, give him his props, because KD was involved in it. So I mean, that was the whole thing. I mean, so if KD wasn't that piece of the puzzle to get Brooklyn there, what makes you think he's gonna be the piece of the puzzle to get Boston?
And then you're gonna have to give up draft picks to get him.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, and that's gonna change the continuity of Boston. I mean, they got these young guys. These young guys are balling, man.
And poison.
And KD's gonna come there. He's gonna want the ball. No, man, that's
no. KD's never been a player that's like give me the ball. KD's always been effective in the way he shoots.
Yeah.
KD always gets he's gonna get his 20 to 25 shots, but he's not pounding the ball. He plays the system. We're not going to sit here and say KD.
Okay, come on now. During the playoffs, you had to see KD. KD is calling for the ball, bro. No, he's going to want the ball, man. He's going to want the ball.
Jason, your head tonight, man.
No, it would work. It would work.
No, okay, let's get the
somebody comments.
Let's get Patrick on there. He says KD ain't that dude. Facts. Great stats, no leader. Exactly. And that's what Boston needs. These guys are young, bro. They need a leader. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and he's not
the leader of the team. No, the leader of the team is there right now. The guy that didn't show up in the finals last year, Jason Tatum, is the guy that's gonna come up to be. No, I'm just speaking from the standpoint of him being there. He has to have that leadership in him.
He's going to defer to KD if he gets there.
Exactly, because KD is going. Look, KD. How we learned in was it grade school with the alligator mouse? KD is greater than Jason Tatum.
Hey, shout out to you, Curry. He says, I don't think we need him. I don't think taking on his contract for him to only leave after one season is good.
It's as cheap as it's going to get for Boston. You have to pay. Jaylen Brown wants a max. Do you know how much maxes are right now? It's going to be cheaper for Durant just to get him at the premium where his contract still stands there. And it hasn't kicked in yet. Well, it hasn't officially, kicked in. But it's just like, I'm just thinking from a standpoint of, I've been watching the Boston Celtics for all these years trying to manipulate teams and keep picks in the down burner and do all that stuff. It hasn't worked. Last year, a good situation for them. They got to the NBA Finals. They feel great about their team, and I respect that. But ultimately, you're not going to be at the helm next year with that team and get to the finals again. I'm telling y'all, and the way to get to the finals again is to change it up, roll the dice. KD's right there.
Roll the dice? Come on, man. He's really saying, you know what, drive the car in the wall. KD is, bro, he's not the answer. Let's get a Facebook user on there. So shout out to Grand Fam right there. Ray, I see it, Raymond in the building here. I mean, let's keep him in. He's tapped in, man, from B-More, somewhere up there in Maryland. But shout out to the Arguing Brothers podcast, man. We got some good things, some collabs we want to do upcoming, man. But appreciate you for tapping in. He's got a great sports mind. So, hey, speak your comments in the chat. We could definitely get him up there. But enough of that Boston stuff, man. You're dreaming. We know. Look what he said. I grew up watching Boston. That means you hate it.
He has interests.
No, he has a hatred.
No.
Watch this. How is it that he's a Lakers fan and he grew up watching Boston?
Boston is where I stay at, so it's on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's there. I'm a basketball guy, so
there's no way that your local station was airing Los Angeles Lakers games.
Oh no, Los Angeles Lakers get aired on my internet stream or you know what I'm saying?
Actually, we got what Kerry. What he says, KD is not worth blowing up a team that almost got the chip. To maybe watching KD get hurt. Fact. Last point he says, no. Tell the Lakers to get him. LOL. Kyrie would not be it.
Yo, yeah. I'm like I said, and we're gonna get to our first topic.
First topic for the night, man.
It's a stage of illusion right now. Yes, if you get to the championship, I would have the mind too that we can maybe win it again. But something inside of me is like, did you see what happened in the rest of the NBA last year? And they're coming back this year. So hopefully the Celtics are in the same predicament they was this year getting to the finals. Because if they're not, guess what they're going to have to do? They're going to have to roll the dice. And right now, KD's at a premium low. You don't want to get any further up through the season.
Why do you think KD is the answer?
I think KD is the answer because, one, Boston needs a star like him there. Boston is a prestigious basketball town, a town that they holler about their championships and they holler all that. And because they went to the NBA Finals this year, despite everything that happened, they think that they're really a championship team. No, in order to stay at that plateau, you got to make some changes sometimes, and you got to know that. You know what I'm saying? And this is another thing. People value their players different than other teams value their players. The Celtics value Marcus Smart like he's a 10. Other teams don't value Marcus Smart like that. You know what I'm saying? Jaylen Brown, you may say differently. But that's all I'm saying. The Celtics are taking it from a standpoint of they're valuing KD like y'all valuing him. Oh, he's been hurt on. But this guy,
I'm not even looking at it from that aspect. I'm looking for the team chemistry.
He's a walking 25-point a game plus scorer. He's not going to take touches off. He's not going to take touches away from Tatum. He's not going to take touches away from Tatum.
How do you feel? What makes you think he won't? Why do you think
he's not going to take touches Wayne Tatum.
Oh, okay. You know what? On that note, I think, what is our first topic for today, sir?
First topic for the day kind of goes into it. High maintenance. So this young lady plays for, she used to play for the Sparks. So this is, now to correct me on this, Liz Cambridge.
Liz Cambridge.
Cambridge.
Yeah, we're gonna call it Cambridge because city of Cambridge. Shout out to Cambridge, Massachusetts.
So she's their big, and she left the team this weekend, and it was some controversy behind it because the whole time she was there, she complained. I think they even went to the point where they got tired of her calling for the ball in the post, and they just kept feeding her the ball. I think we talked about that with KD a little bit.
Yeah,
they just kept feeding her the ball, and she also cried about her jersey number. The first number she wanted wasn't available. It was for a retired player. The second number was an active player that was on her roster. She whined about it. They gave it to her, and that player didn't find out that her jersey had been given away to somebody else until she saw it on social media. So she sounds like a cancer on this team. So
she became a cancer. First, I want to shout out the WNBA because the WNBA basically did the WWF and screwed Liz. Because first off, if we downstream, this lady has had a bunch of problems since she's entered the WNBA. She's been in multiple stops, multiple teams. She's already done this before where she was supposed to come back for a WNBA stint.
Tulsa Shocks, who
yes,
announced the Dallas
and she didn't come back.
Yep.
She didn't come back. This girl here, she, like I was telling you before the show, Coach, she, when in her mindset and in her basketball mind, she is the best big in the WNBA.
True that.
And I think it spurs a little bit from one, being a lady. We know how ladies can be. And two, I think this is a little stream of, what we talk about all the time with the WNBA, the marketing and the problems and this and that. But this is deeper with her because there was a few Nigerians that played on this Sparks team.
Just about to go there.
And she called a couple of these Nigerian girls during the Olympics, called them monkeys during the exhibition.
I can't do that.
I mean, let's give a little background about her. Now, she's not an American. She's from London.
Nigerian.
She's from Cambridge is from the UK.
She has Nigerian. No, she has Nigerian heritage.
Yes, herself. That's what makes it crazy.
Mm-hmm. And it's wild. You said jersey number. She wanted her jersey number 1. The Sparks said that she couldn't have it because another player had it. Days later, on Twitter, the Sparks announced that the person who was wearing number 1 was not going to be wearing that jersey no more. It was Liz's. So she ultimately got her number.
Give me your shit.
And then the WNBA, like I said, WNBA said, hey, we're going to put you with the Spark for your little comments in the summer, put you around people that you don't like. And basically, I think the WNBA kind of said, we're going to set you up and try to get you out of here for a little bit. That's ultimately what happened. And they didn't really have to do it because she did it herself. I think she smelt it after a point within the organization. So, I mean, this is it's not a bad blow because she can make that money anywhere else. The ladies in the WNBA do go and have other gigs and other things to, continue to get the cash rolling. So you see her OnlyFans, see her Instagram.
Everything, I don't hear nothing about basketball.
No, that's because it became more herself. And I was saying this as well. She just became just for herself. She didn't want to be a basketball player no more, I just felt like she wanted things handed to her. Like I said, she's the best big in the WNBA. She feels like she should get the ball like Shaq every time in the paint. They're not passing her the ball. They're not feeding her rock because they don't like her. So it's a hatred thing on their side, but she made it a hatred thing on her side because of the altercations in the Olympics.
I mean, and to me, that's one of the issues when you get these international players because you don't know how how they're going to react to American fans. And so, with this, it's like, yeah, it's easy for her to just pack up and go back to, be like, hey, you know what? I'm ending my American career and just choose to maybe play the game abroad. But to me, that goes to blow to all these WNBA stars who say, oh, they're not making enough money. Well, why are these other people who coming from all these other areas coming to play American basketball?
They're coming, but if they're hopping around like they're doing, the fan doesn't have any vested interest in it. They can't make a connection like, this is my favorite player on this team or that team, where you can go to one game and the next day she literally is gone. Right. They get rid of star players all the time, cutting contracts, releasing them, things like that. That's not traditional.
Basically, watching the NBA is too much because you see what's going on in the NBA right now. She's like, oh, let me see if I can try this in the WNBA. And there you go. But unfortunately for you, the only option you do have at this point right now is to go overseas and go play basketball. I've heard people say she might not make a roster in the league anymore.
Yeah. I think her bridge has been burned.
That behavior, that type of behavior is just crazy. Like, you going from team to team, you pulling the KD before KD. Hey, we talking about this is the KD. This may be the Liz. Because looking at the resume,
but that just shows that there's an issue there. Because why is she not fitting? Why is the continuity not there? You know what I mean? And shout out to interim head coach Fred Williams. He said that Cambridge was struggling with conditioning and facing double and triple team.
Everything but basketball.
Anything but basketball. She's a model. You go on Instagram, you see her modeling pictures. You see her at the SBs. She got an OnlyFans. She's worried about that stuff right now. She's worried about making a full name for herself and saying the basketball court is not going to do it for me. That's what she's basically saying.
But you know what's funny about that though is she's in that position to do that type of stuff because of basketball.
You know what's funny? That's what she's doing what American athletes are doing. That's the exact same thing, and because that's what Kyler Murray's contract. He wants to play play video games, worry about his podcast. All these other guys are doing, she's just doing what American athletes are already doing. So how are we saying she's wrong?
One, because the league needs star power because they really don't have it. Two, there's no vested interest like we spoke about earlier. And three, NFL, those players. If Kyler Murray is walking down the street, you're going to know that's Kyler Murray because they are both go hand in hand. If you don't have the advertising dollars there, then they can't make the salaries that they got there. And you can't get the advertising dollars if the fans aren't flocking to it and nobody's watching games.
Yeah. And, so she's doing she's doing a disservice for the WNBA because, they're struggling with ratings and trying to get people to, vested interest in the league all, in itself. So for her to come in and have all this other stuff that's going on. So, do you think that there's a way that the league can actually prevent this, or can they, what should they do?
It's touchy because, like I said, this is like a one of a kind in the WNBA, so it's kind of like a first.
This is the first that we've heard.
Yes, that's true.
I don't believe this is one of a kind because if it's
this could be the first.
I'm pretty sure there's many. If it's happening right now, it's more to come.
In terms of the KD, like, I don't want to be on this team. I don't want to be on that team. Hold on. You was on a team that basically is one of the top teams in the league, And if I was you and you wanted comfortability, I would have just took the low money and stayed there. But you wanted a bigger contract from LA. You said you wanted to play in LA. You went to LA. You knew who was playing for LA. And then, ultimately you thought that because your basketball standard was you're the best big in the league, you thought that people were going to override what you did in the Olympics, and it wasn't like that.
Sure. And it didn't help that her coach, Derek Fisher brought her there.
And Derek Fisher left.
And then she was,
by herself.
And then Derek Fisher left. Then Derek Fisher went bye-bye.
Yeah.
So that kind of stuck too, like your coach. And you got to kind of remind, like the WNBA, we say is not the NBA, so we got to put it on a college standpoint. It's like in college, like when your coach leaves or the person that recruited you leaves or something like that, changes are going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if you like it or not. And I think that was the situation here too. You got the Yorkway sisters over there too, and there's some good players as well. You know what I'm saying? So, and they're Nigerian. You know what I'm saying? So you mix that in, everybody Nigerian. It's like you went to Nigeria
to piss off Nigeria.
And you thought that you was going to Los Angeles. No, you in Nigeria, California. And that's the way it was. Poor lady, man. But hey, like I said, Instagram, OnlyFans, all that. She's gonna continue to try to make a name for herself. You know, ladies. You know what I'm saying? People click.
OnlyFans was shut down.
OnlyFans is not shut down. That is blown up by the day.
Oh well, tell on yourself. He said that with his chest. Right, it is not.
I don't participate. I don't participate in it. I'm on social media like everybody else. You know,
this is a non-judgment zone, man. We
right.
No judgment zone. I don't have enough funds to be going on OnlyFans. I got kids, just like everybody else, but I got kids, and the money goes to them.
That lets us know he got an OnlyFans page. I mean,
so you got your own page, man.
Y'all want to make an OnlyFans page? And we can just show our podcasters on there. We don't got none else.
Oh man, that's shit. Before we take this quick break, man. So last question. So do you think that the league can do something about this? Or should the league do something about this? Because I think that this is about to happen.
It's spiraling out of control, man.
They got to make an example out of it. And that's the thing that they can do on this, and that's what's going to have to happen. They have to make an example out of it.
She said, "I can't do this no more."
Right. I'm done. Oh no, the quote was, "I can't do this no more. Enjoy yourselves," or something like that. I'm saying, like, girl.
And they called this a contract divorce. Are you serious?
Yes. And they had exactly. Somebody was like, "Oh, she didn't quit. She quit."
Yes,
she quit.
She's Simone Biles.
So, all right, man. I think it's time. Got to pay some bills to keep our lights on. So, hey, man, y'all definitely we got a good second segment. Y'all get them questions ready. We'll be back with more of the Nothing But Basketball show. We'll be back.
Hey guys, it's your girl Tamara Moore, former WNBA guard and current head coach at Mesabi Range College. I want to give a big shout out to STWF Media, the big brand, for showing love and always being about those good sports. Make sure you guys show them love. You and your community can join them every week to talk about sports. Shouts out to them and make sure you check them out.
Yes, sir. Everybody out there doing. Let's do this thing. So this next topic, man, it's probably gonna be a little fiery, man. I think everybody feels some type of way about it, but
you feel some type of way.
We finna see.
Just put that out there. It's like, wait, everybody feels some type of way.
We finna see. Hey, it's all over the internet. If you haven't heard, it look like BG.
Who's that?
Brittany Griner is coming home.
There was a trade
to come home. President Biden is agreeing to. Initially, it looks like he's agreeing to Russia's terms.
Wait, hold on. The United States does not make deals with terrorists. What I read on TV is the United States offers deal. So I don't know.
There was a trade today in America. It was a trade.
Exactly. It felt exactly.
It was a 2-for-1 trade.
I am definitely a little bit confused on how this works.
Brittany Griner's value is skyrocketing.
She's worth the first. So, unless you've been on a rock or something, Brittany Griner, who plays in the WNBA, and she also plays overseas to supplement her income. She January, February, she got in a little trouble at the airport where she was stopped. And she had in her possession some hashish oil.
Did you say stopped?
She was stopped.
Wait, no, wait. I'm a black guy. When you say stop, that means whoop, you get the lights and your hands go up.
Hey, if she was outside, they'd threw the lights on her.
She her ass went through the check-in, the check place.
With a vape pen.
Yes, she didn't get stopped, bro. She walked. It's like she pulled up to the police station and got out. And right, exactly. She turned herself in. That's what happened.
I would agree with that. She definitely turned herself in. Yeah. But a lot of people got behind it. Bring her home. She's been over there like 190 days or something like that. And she's about to ready to come home. In addition to another individual, Paul. Okay, y'all on the first name basis. All right. Paul's coming home.
He's from Canada, eh?
Paul is coming home, and in return,
Paul,
we are exchanging them for Victor Book.
You was waiting on that, huh?
Victor.
that was in your Russian voice?
Yes, it was.
I see that. I hear it.
So if you haven't heard of Victor, he actually had a movie made about him. and his nickname is the Merchant of Death. He's an arms dealer.
It was the Lord of War. Lord of War.
Lord of War with Nicolas Cage.
Yes. Shout out to Nicolas Cage because Aaron Rodgers showed up to camp, dressed like Con Air, Nicolas Cage. So he's been pretty
He did. He licked on California. I like, there it is. But yeah, so initially the Biden administration said that they would not exchange her for him, but it looks like they have succumbed to pressure and spotlight, and initially it looks like they're going to make that deal. So how y'all feeling about the prisoner exchange?
But we don't even know anything about the prisoners. I mean, so Paul Whelan, so he's a Canadian. That's the first thing I have to say. So Paul Whelan is a Canadian with American, British, and Irish citizenship. He was arrested in Russia on December 28th, 2018, and accused of spying. On June 15, 2020, he received a 16-year prison sentence with the possibility of time in a labor camp. So
he's been there since 2018, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So what do y'all think about that? So, I mean, the guy, he got 16 years for spying. I mean, at the end of with him, what jumps out to me is that he's a Canadian, he's Britain, he has all these different type of citizenships.
Right. And what's our interest in it?
Thank you. So why are we making, negotiations on his behalf?
Yeah, I would think whoever his home country is should be doing that. Or is he really who they say he is?
They said he was a spy.
I had in my mind. That's the question I had in my mind. And one is Joe Biden didn't want to make the deal. So hold on. So, and I mean, there's people go to jail every day, and there's people that serving jail sentences right now. But really, that's how much America was really focused on getting a home. And the fact that it's a 2-for-1 deal. That's what sparks me too. And the 16 year for spying,
yeah.
Woo.
That's
hard. So imagine what Brittany would have got without no trade or nothing. She was gonna get smoked, like we said, she was gonna do 10 years for some vape pens. But what really circled this situation was Brittany Griner's medical team. Defense attorney brought in some artifacts, that Brittany may have not gave to the police or anything, but Brittany Griner is medically prescribed to marijuana, though she should not went to the airport and went through.
You believe that? Wait, time. I can't let you. Wait, no. So
you gonna let him slide on that one?
I can't let him slide. I can't let you.
You can't let me slide on that.
No, I mean, no.
Okay.
Because first of all, she pleaded guilty.
She did initially. She did
right, and and that was a defense. That was a move so that they can expedite her case, so that they can make negotiation. Because originally going into it, the United States said, "Hey, they're going to let this. They're going to let the Russian courts play this out." So but then it was like, okay, hey, the Russians are jacking over us. So now they said that she's wrongfully detained. But in order for her to get that. That label, she had to let the courts play out. So she actually said that she was guilty. So why now the defense is coming out with all this stuff saying, that she was prescribed vape pens. Now watch this. They said, right, because she was prescribed vape pens because she had, after recovering from COVID, the flight that took her from Arizona to Moscow was over 19 hours. Oh. This is what y'all come up with? Okay, so now you see why I'm like, wait, I couldn't let you make that. I couldn't let you.
Let me ask you something, man. I want to make a.
Hey, like it was said in court, it was showed that, and then you got a week and a half later, they're accepting the trade of Brittany Griner and the Canadian, British, Frenchman, for a Russian. So in real expectation, we gotta know one, Brittany Griner, you knew what you was doing when you entered that airport, medicated or not, in a different country. We all should know a little bit about Russia and how they operate. But second thing is, I'm happy that she's free. Now, we just talked about Liz. This woman right here, she's got that spot as the best big in the game. She has hella game. You know what I'm saying? She's a little older, but she's respected in both the American game and the Russia game. It's just sad for her because the supplemented income that she was getting from playing in Russia may not never be there again after this case. You know, what's the repercussions of her? What's the repercussions of her after this now? Is she gonna be banned from Russia or some type of probation thing from Russia? Like, what's all they gonna come into? Like, and that's a question I want answered, and I need some answers in the next couple of days because
I don't think she's gonna go back because I think she probably figures she's already on the radar. They know who she is. They might try to pop her again.
Why would she go back?
Given the circumstances, absolutely, given the circumstances. But if it was just a stop and frisk, or like, okay, you got this on you, and you know,
she tried to go through security test. She passed her luggage through security.
No, understandable. No, but what I'm saying is, if and they're not, but if the court system was like America's and she would have went back and played. But given the circumstances and everything that happened, they detained her for
prisoner exchange. She is not going back there. She can't go back there. I'm pretty sure they got a contract.
That's what I'm saying. But the income that she was getting from playing there.
I want to understand this. So everyone keeps talking about this income in Russia. So
she made $200,000 a year over here.
Thank you. Now, in addition to that, how is it? So we think that the conversion rate from whatever I think that Russia uses, it converts to US dollars, right?
That's not what I'm saying. In that too, but
no, but wait, I'm just asking. I'm just trying to, because I'm trying to paint a picture, get an idea.
The value even being on the
Thank you. That's my point. Because
a lot of the ladies go to Russia.
Russian money is not accepted here right now. So there is no value in that.
Yeah, but then in her income and all that, there may not be no value either because we sit here and we talk about the NBA. She's never going back. We understand that. But in the sense of what went down, she's not going back no more. It was just you're Brittany Griner, and she was respected the way she thought she was down there. She would have went back because that's the income right there. But figuring everything that went down in the last 190 days, of course she's not going back there.
But that's what I'm saying. They have to be a conversion rate. The money. She can't, when her contract or whenever that Russian season ends, someone has to convert that money into American money. There's not the value is not there. So Will, his question, his statement, he says they pay them plenty over there because their pocket's super deep while they're there. So what do you think that conversion rate of that money is to US dollars? That's all I'm saying. That's what I need questions because everyone keeps saying, oh, she's making money. Okay, right now we're not accepting Russian money. Russia's not even accepting American money. I think they're on rubles or whatever. So what is that? Like, what is the true value of that she was getting over there? Because I think that to me, this is all a bigger play. Like, this makes absolutely no sense.
In terms of what? Elaborate.
Why she's over there. So he says, bro, they can get anyone to turn their money into. No, bro. No. You can't do that, man. Do you know IRS is on you? They check all of that. They're the conversion rate. She got to go through customs. Everything that she brings over there, it has to get inspected. Like, they cannot. You watch too many gangster movies. You must be from Chicago. Like, this legal money, man. You can't wash that money. You know how billionaires. Hey, I agree with you, and that's where I feel now we talking. Now we're talking. What other basketball player or WNBA star do you know American that plays in Russia?
There's a lot of them over there, but they don't make the mistake.
Some of them go to Russia, China, but a lot of the WNBA go to Russia.
Who?
It's WNBA, so we don't know them. Just heard the stories.
What? Diana Taurasi's, you know what I'm saying? You want to talk about Sue? Everybody that's a star in the league, you know, from Diana Taurasi to Aja to all these Casey Plum, all these girls during the off season,
they play in Russia. No, I'm talking about playing Russia, Germany, overseas, you know, different places like that. I understand that, but I'm talking about Russia.
Yeah, tons of people play in Russia. Tons of people, NBA players, they go play in Russia because of the league, because of the standard, the way they treat you as an athlete over there, except for the TSA. So, you know, I mean, at the same time, man, it was an unfortunate situation, but I just want to know in terms of like when courts adjourn and they figure out what's going to go on, I want to know, is she on probation over there? Is she kicked out of the country? I want to know stuff like that. I know she's not going to go back, but I want to know that stuff as well.
We're not going to release that until the terms have been agreed upon as far as like we're going to pull the trigger on this swap. My question is, and you know she was a big proponent, and this is where it gets interesting for me. So You talked about the money portion. This is where it gets interesting for me. She was a big proponent of police brutality in America, where everybody knows we did the kneeling before, or you avoided the national anthem, and she spoke out against it. A lot of people recently came out and said, if I was her, I wouldn't even want to come back. My point is, and I asked somebody this in a group earlier, I never got an answer back, by the way, but what position is she going to have when she comes back? Because to me, it's going to be hypocritical if you come back and you like, I'm not standing for the national anthem. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. When you was in a position, you put the country in a position to now they have to release a prisoner that shouldn't be out there to bring you back home because they respected you as a U.S. citizen. There's no value in them bringing you back. Then I get only the simple fact of you're a citizen and they're doing a part as your country to bring you home. So what do you guys think her stance is going to be once she comes back?
That was a lot. Wait, so okay,
Is she going to stay in or sit for the national anthem?
But I mean, we made this about her, so we're just gratifying this whole her movement, this me movement, this LBT. Like, honestly, that's what I wanted to question. Like, wait, you said that they respect her and all like this. No, I mean, she's part of a political agenda. I don't, I've honestly, if people want to know why I always posted this Brittney Griner thing in the group, it was because of political reasons. One is like, hey, her LGBTQ, her culture got Biden in office, period. You know what I'm saying? That's what he made.
That part. Midterms are coming up.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And, it was a whole women's movement that also got Biden in office. So, honestly, I think like.
And I agree with you, Will. Value of public opinion. That's the only value that she has. But if it wasn't for these midterms coming up.
Wait, value of public opinion?
Yeah, because right now, because his ratings are so bad and they expect for there to be I think they call it a red wave or whatever they call it, where the Republicans take over a lot of positions.
Well, okay. So then what about Paul Whelan?
That's the tricky one.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He's been there. He's been in jail. Just like right now, there's a lady who's talking about her husband got 3 years in the Japanese jail because he went in Mount Fuji. He went and hiked Mount Fuji, and he was tired, and he fell asleep behind the wheel and crashed and killed 2 people. He got 3 years. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this is, there's a lot of people locked up abroad internationally.
I was just about to say, enough of them had evidently they didn't watch that show enough.
they did not fit the ballot that got him in, because you got to look at it right now. It was the women that got Joe Biden in office. I mean, women invited me into. I was a part of a group called Women for Kamala Harris. I was like, how the hell I get in this group? But the women got him in there. So right now it's on midterm and his ratings are falling. And I guarantee you, if his ratings were up, he would have not pulled the trigger on this.
Yeah,
he would have waited for a trade. He would have waited like Brad Stevens on a trade. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what it is. This is practically the KD trade, and Russia's and America's basically telling the Celtics right now in the sports aspect, y'all better make that trade for KD. That's not. But no, we'll talk. That was an excellent question you asked, Coach. You know what I'm saying? And this being like hypocritical and all that, because like you said, she wasn't up for the anthem and all that. If she comes back and she's still on the same thing she was on before she got sentenced, this is gonna be uproar in America.
Yeah. So her career may be over here.
But does she play the back? No, but does she play the back end and now be like, I'm standing up for the anthem now and America, and what I'm saying, salute the troops and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? And you kind of seen that turn when she had wrote that letter on the 4th of July. You know what I'm saying? Kind of jump in the water, but then like kind of not want to, because at the end of the day, gotta remember, guys, and we're all African Americans on this screen right now. You know what I'm saying? One of the biggest problems for African Americans is, yourself. Like, you want to have pride in yourself, too much pride in yourself, that most people would just keep acting how they acting. And I mean, America's gonna be on Lindsay. She's on probation in America. That's what I'm saying. She's on probation in America. They're gonna be watching her.
I'm gonna say this, because everyone's how they say, my grandma used to say, everyone who with you ain't for you. everyone who's standing with you doesn't mean they standing for the same thing you're standing for. And I always laugh at everyone says, oh, with kneeling for the flag. How do you know that they kneeling for Black Lives Matter? How do you know they kneeling for equality? How do you know they kneeling for anything? How do you know she was kneeling for that? She might have been kneeling for equal rights for LGBT, for her community.
No, we know she was very blunt in what she was believing in and standing for. She was very blunt, like everybody else that came up to it.
Okay, right. Just the same way she was very blunt in what she in her Patriot Act for the July statement, right?
Because she's locked up, she wants to get out.
I mean, and that's the behavior that everyone do that's locked up. They say anything that they need to say to get out. And this is what I'm saying. We're watching this flip-flop behavior. Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm painting a picture to show that she's going to flip-flop.
If she's smart, she would start standing, because right now the fan base, and I'm actually speaking to Will's point, the fan base that follows her now is not as strong as it probably could be, because she had to go overseas to play.
The fan base?
Fan base.
Let's stop. Time out. I'm a Katrina refugee.
Okay.
You know what I put that out there? You know what everyone watching, they want to know my story. That's all that happened. I became news. This is what I said. No one is her fans. Only ones who are her fans is her family. Everyone now wants to know. You know what they're going to ask her? How is it like out there? How is it like in Russia? No one's asking about her basketball game. They want to know her story. I guarantee you, the first time she make it to American soil, she's going to be on Good Morning America, because everyone's going to want to know her story. And that's how she's going to reinvigorate this whole community right there. The LGBTQ community is going to stick with her. You might see her the vice goddamn president. I'm just telling you, there's a hidden agenda. I guarantee you Biden parade her and gallivant her around just to get an uptick in his ratings. That's what I believe. That's what I believe is going to happen, because right now everyone is going to want to know her story. That's it.
Then at that point in time, it'd be said that she's available to the highest bidder.
Exactly.
And I can't respect nobody like that.
Exactly. I mean, it's.
If you gonna stand on it and be who you are, you know what I'm saying? Like you said,
I would would wish that she was on that same energy she was before she got on. I would wish.
She has to.
She's not. I mean, everyone's like that. Everyone's gangster until you meet the Fed time. Until they hit you with 50 goddamn years. Woo! You're passing out now.
Great time. Talking in proper sentences.
Exactly. So I mean, like I keep saying, it's indicative of her behavior. You know what I'm saying? And what I feel was bad at is because right now, what he said, Biden, that there's a hidden agenda with this.
And that's kind of sad, Will. If she checks all the boxes for who Biden needs to please right now, that's sad, because that means they're voting off of emotion.
Yes.
There's no real agenda. That's why we're in the state that we in right now.
There's a real agenda.
Hold on. The first one. Say that again. Say the first thing you said.
Which one?
The voting. Say it again.
Well, as far as the voting, he's actually pandering to his base right now.
Right.
And people, and this is the world. And I said this about the world. People was like, oh, why Trump the president, this and that. And I'm like, this is the way the world's going in now. It's a popularity contest. You know what I'm saying? It's
all emotion, man.
Mm-hmm.
And at the
same time, off emotion. You put yourself in compromising position.
Emotions. People put themselves in emotion now. Like when people be on TV and get up and vote, this and that, then people emotion. It's emotion. And I tell people this all the time. It's emotion, statistics. I said that last night too, man. This world is full of statistics, man. It's full of statistics. That man, what's his name? TN. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna speak on him, but we never knew that he was on the trading block and he was waiting for the next big American to get locked up for him to get his release. Shout out to his inspiring to me. Yes, spying, that's crazy too, but that guy shouldn't have got assistance for that. Shout out to him and getting home with his family,
Now, look at Will's statement up there. His comment. He says, pandering is what politicians do. Now, I'm going to give y'all, feel a little emotional right now. Y'all got me emotional.
Are you about to tell the bridge story?
Yes, I'm going to tell when I met Jesse Jackson, man. I seen post a guy, he was at the Omega Conclave and he was posting Jesse Jackson about it was a surreal moment. And I was like, fuck Jesse, because I met him on the bridge. And he lied to my family and told us, hey, you know what? Y'all little asses can get on my buses if y'all pray. So we prayed with Jesse Jackson, and I knew for a fact that he was just pandering us because, you know, he can put us on TV. So we were taking pictures, and yeah. So after the cameras went off, Jesse Jackson and his buses got on and left our asses right there on the bridge. So
When he found you.
exactly.
So we
And
see
that's what's going to happen to Brittany Griner. But like Will said, you know, the LGBTQ is going to stick with her, but, you know, it's on her right now. And I think she's in a make or break moment right now. So, you know, it's going to be an uproar in this community, you know, in this community, definitely if she comes home. Because, you know, some people are going to talk about the fact that we dealt her for the Russian, you know, the Russian guy, the Russian arms trafficker. Like, this is crazy. This man killed a lot of people and did a lot of things. So we're dealing her right after dealing Russia, you know, Russian drug trafficker. So Russia is, you know, they're in a win right now.
Yeah, they actually got us in a bad way right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say Russia did win the trade.
Oh yeah, they won the trade.
I wasn't gonna say that, you know, saying Russians are probably screaming in uproar right now, man, after that trade, man. Like, ooh.
He has more value to Russia than she has to the U.S.
Well, not to Biden, because this is how Biden's going to get in office. So between the border deal and this deal, yeah, Biden going to second term.
So hold on, let me hear this straight. So after, because we heard a bunch of stuff like, you know, week for weeks, like, oh, this is Tom Brady, or if this was LeBron, or if this was this and that. The way Biden's rocking, you know what I'm saying? Would Brady and LeBron really have gotten out? I'm just saying.
Nah, he wouldn't have got them out.
Because they don't fit
He
his
had
agenda.
no choice. He did this. His advisors came and said, hey, man, if you don't do this, we're done. We're going to lose the midterms. We're probably going to lose in 2024. You've got to do this.
And I mean, if it, you know, and it's been history what politicians do, just like when they have the state of the union, you know what I'm saying? And every president done this. They point up there in the stands and be like, look, I got little Jimmy, you know, who's 3 stage, you know, in stage 10 of leukemia. He got 1 leg and 1 eye, and he came here to speak to everyone. You know, they plays on people's emotions. You know, everyone does this. And I guarantee you, during this midterm, you know, State of the Union, we're going to see Brittany Griner up there, and she's going to wave, and that's what's going to get Biden back in office.
Will says Biden is still going to lose. That ain't really enough. And
yeah,
if Braun was over there, he believes that he would have gotten him out.
Yeah, you don't believe in the power of women. I mean,
I think he would have got Braun out.
You crazy? What?
I think would have got Braun.
What? Okay, what would have gotten Braun out?
Adam Silver would have been right at his neck, like
that part.
So
and he wouldn't have wanted to piss off China. He makes a lot of money for China. LeBron makes a lot of money for China.
Like I said, LeBron is just, you know, he's a spokes guy. You know, he's overspoken.
Hold on. Small. That's a good point right there. If the Russians is beefing with the Americans and the Chinese low key don't like the Americans, but they're representing LeBron James, that would have been a war to see. The USA and China against Russia in the stream of LeBron James. Oh my God. Oh, that would have been crazy. But in all, this girl is free. So I got one more question in regards to this situation.
Okay.
Will this mentally affect her career as a WNBA player going forward? Because now she has to resume. She's going to have to, at the end of the day, resume what she was doing in life before this happened. And she's going to be playing in the WNBA. And I mean, WNBA showed supreme support in her trying to get out.
I would say so, because I believe it was a comedian or somebody last week, maybe. They came out and they was talking about the WNBA and saying that I think it might have been Bill Burr, but anyway, he said that the WNBA was failed by their base, the feminists and the LGBTQ community. Because if they really were supportive of the women league, they will be there supporting that league, but they're not there.
Sounds like he had the structured research. Because, I mean, how does it, so it takes a certain type of fan base to make something pop off? Or, does it take a certain type of marketing to make something pop off?
Which came first, the chicken or the egg?
Nice clap back. No, I believe, honestly, her WNBA career is over.
I think it is too.
Because she's news now. Y'all got to really understand where
She's not gonna have to play. She's gonna be able to tell a story. They're gonna make a movie.
She's gonna write a book. Yes.
She doesn't have to play no movie.
This is what I'm telling you.
As sad as the situation was, this is another stage of off the first topic we talked about. The more the WNBA wants to improve their game and improve the likeness and everything, these two situations don't help it at all. At all. Two different situations, but it does not help at all that these two ladies, great players in your organization, one may not play no more and one may not play no more. And it's crazy that we're speaking on this, man. It's great to have a blessing to even speak on the WNBA. We see people try to speak on it, but it's great and a blessing that we get to have a full-blown conversation about it, because how many people in America are really speaking on this the way we're speaking?
So Will said she could be the face of the league. Why would her career end?
What would she represent? She's not representing basketball. She's representing struggle. She's a prisoner. She's a prisoner. What is she representing? So you're going to have a prisoner representing your league? Is that what you're saying?
Me personally, I think that because of her former stance that she had, she lost a lot of people then, and she had her fan base there that supported her. If it was me, I might go the other way. One, to not look like a hypocrite. Two, that's an entirely different fan base. If you go in and you quote unquote become a patriot or whatever the case may be, that's a whole nother fan base that wasn't there before that you can bring back into the fold. They're gonna wear your jersey. They're gonna come to the games. They said there's no jersey.
No, that's what I'm listening to y'all, because at the end of the day, me, I data trap. So what is the data looking like right now?
So he says,
but I'm saying people.
So that speaks to your data trap. She's marketable, but marketable to who?
She's right to prisoners. That's what I'm saying.
Her current fan base is already there. They've been there the whole time.
What fan base?
The LGBTQ community. That's the only thing that you're going to appeal to right now.
Don't act the WNBA.
Wait, time out. No, time out. She's going to appeal to people that have had tragedy, people that have been prisoners. This is what I'm saying. She's y'all looking at her for what she once was. She's not that person. She's not she haven't played basketball in over 150 days.
And that's why I say if she goes the other way, that opens up a whole nother side.
That's what I'm saying. Right, I agree with you. She needs to go the patriotic way and become, like I say, she could become the next vice president. She
that doesn't stand, no, but that doesn't stand. But and I get what you're saying, but the way that they portray a lady, I don't think she should do that. I think she should get back on the basketball court. I think she should, because overall her story is going to be bigger regardless. Even if she doesn't play basketball and she tells her story all day. Now you have somebody who got locked up in Russia.
So she's not focusing on basketball. That's my point. How is she going to make something how is she going to dedicate her time and everything to basketball when that's not her life?
Yeah, dedicate the time to her, because one of the people who support, one of the fan bases supporting her was the WNBA. In support of her. He won't be back.
That's my point. Look what he said. He said, bro, Mike Vick killed dogs and came home and got it, but it wasn't in the NFL. Thank you. He wasn't on the field. He wasn't a player. That's what I'm talking about. Because right now you're talking about Americans, and America is the home of second chances. So it's up to you on how that second chances look. And that's what it was. And what did Michael Vick come? Michael Vick right now is still doing, give back. He's still speaking.
Yeah, but if I'm not
spoke
mistaken,
at Grambling.
He became an advocate for the dogs.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Right.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, exactly.
He played football though. But he played football.
No, I'm talking about after he got back out.
No, he did not play football, bro. After he got out.
Did he play football for the Eagles?
Yeah, he did. Eagles and the Steelers.
Oh, yeah.
But he didn't become the lovable person that he is, right? Because right now,
hold on. He played football and got another $100 million contract.
Not for that.
Kidding me?
Not for that.
No. He got the $100 million contract because they see somebody that's locked up. They're saying already, you're finished. Like we're saying with Brittany Griner, she's finished. No, Mike Vick was not finished. He still can up tops most of the QBs in the league still. And he was showing down on the football field.
But the thing is Mike Vick came out and said that he wanted to prove something. He wanted to prove that. That was the only thing. He had something to prove.
Brittany Griner got something to prove too.
What?
To prove that she still can get it in.
And hold on. Okay. Now, granted here, Leavenworth is not Russia.
This is America. She's in America now. She's back home free now.
No, we're talking about Michael Vick. We're comparing apples to oranges. I'm like, hold on, let me draw a line in the sand to that. Because of that, yeah, Russia is not Leavenworth. So that lady, then, yeah, she's all torn up in the head, man. So there's no way she's going to be able to recover from that because she had it. She, unlike Michael Vick, his agent was still calling him while he was locked up. She didn't have any of that.
Yeah, she had people calling her.
No, they were able to view her. I mean, because they came on TV and said, hey, you know what? Some of her teammates were able to view and see what her life was like, in that Russian jail, but they weren't talking to her.
I'm talking about the people closest to her. Wife, agents, whoever in that line, yeah, absolutely. They was contacting her and got rid of her. When they was able to get everything and claim it, yeah. In terms of the players, no, of course. No, our players wasn't going to talk to her. In that circumstance, no.
I'm pretty sure, people from the state, it was a very small list of people that were actually able to talk to her. I mean, I agree with you on that. But
yeah, I feel like this is going to be, also, like, picture this. She can tell her story about what happened, and the people that don't think she can play basketball no more because she's mentally done, and she can prove that too. And I think she can. If anybody that can do it at this stage right now, it's her. She's already been battling stuff all her life. And then now being part of the LGBTQ community, she goes through that blitz. You know what I'm saying? Now it's a blitz. There's a bunch of blitzes for her. So I think if anybody can do it and get back on the basketball court, she don't have to be what she was before, but she's in a league where she's one of the best big.
This is the biggest thing. This is what I'm saying. She's a part of a political agenda. Vic, he did his time. He has something to prove. Brittany Griner, she had nothing to prove.
How many years Mike Vick do? 2?
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
No, I'm just asking. He did 2 years. I'm just asking what he do because he didn't really do a lot of time. He didn't get slammed for years and years. He didn't get slammed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He didn't get slammed. So he still had that mindset that he can go play the game. He was practicing on the football. He was practicing in jail.
Right. I mean, and he got special privileges. I mean, come on, let's keep it 1,000. She did not get that out there. So
it's going
to be a big transition to, for her to get here.
Hold on. Mike Vick got 18 months. Right. Okay, almost 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years from 2007 to 2008.
Right.
That's what he got. And then I'm looking at, he did have one big payday with the Eagles, and he got 2011, 2012. He got paid about $36 million.
So right here we say,
but he didn't have $100 million contract.
Exactly.
He had
the
$100 million contract, but it was like Kyler Murray's. It was like certain incentives and the money incentives, something like that. But the contract
you talking about his original contract with the Falcons or something. That's the only time he made $100 million.
No, go look up the article. He made it. It wasn't $100 million guaranteed, but the contract said $100 million. I don't know how much he made out that contract, but it was a $100 million contract.
I can tell you now, he's an advocate, and you can actually get him to speak at special events.
His career's over.
And graduation.
He can't play the game no more. Brittany Griner can still go play the game, and in afterlife, go talk about this because she was in that situation similar to Mike Vick. Mike Vick was in that situation.
No, it's not similar. Michael Vick did his time. She did not do her time. She's a part of a political agenda.
For a crime in America that she would have been out the next day, bro. Like, that's what I'm talking about. She is a baller.
150 days? Bro, have you been in jail? Shit, 150 days is like a year. Yeah, we're talking about she did space. Yeah, and that was in Russia.
But again, we used the Vic and her comparison. Again, when Michael Vick came out, he went to PETA. He went to the dog kennels and he said, you know what? I want to be a part of what y'all are doing as an extension of my rehab for what I did.
Right. You can tell, right.
She can do that too, but if she does do that, she's gonna come back to what was already here. And the reason that she even went on in the first place, because she felt like she wasn't making enough money.
Clearly, he's just an athlete because he said you keep saying politics. Well, I keep saying political agenda. Yes, it is. That does matter because. So you think she's just got out scot-free? I'm just asking. So you just think there's no expectations on her? It means everything to her career, bro. Because at the end of the day, Who got her out? Who got her out? Politics. So yes, definitely it has something to do with her career. So
He said, yes, I've been in jail and I can still ball. Shout out to you, Will, man.
All right,
That's the line of the night, man. Y'all ready for this last break for tonight?
Yes, we are. Not.
We are not. We'll be back about 15, 20. Hold on to your butts.
Be back.
What's up, world? Kyrie Robinson, man. New Orleans Saints veteran. Hey, man, make sure you guys go check out my guy, man, STWF, the media, man. Check them guys out. Y'all want to get sports talks with players, with fans, anything like that, man, go check them guys out, man. That's the place to be if you want to talk sports. Who that nation?
Welcome. Segment 3, the last segment for the night. Let's get up in here and kick this dough in and handle this. Last topic for the night, man. We're going to roll right into this bad boys, and we call this one True Value. This one is I think it was a little bit of a conversation that was going on. Might have been on here. I know definitely it was in the Facebook group. If you're not in, you need to get in there.
Definitely.
Sports Talk with Friends Facebook. Come holler at your boys. But Draymond Green, somebody said he was a Hall of Famer, a guaranteed first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And they compared him to Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we didn't compare him to Dennis. I didn't compare him to Dennis Rodman. I just said he was in his own lane, but, I respect his game.
You did say that.
What?
You compared him to Dennis Rodman and said he's a first round ballot.
No. I said he's a first ballot, and he's on the defensive end, similar to Dennis Rodman. I didn't simulate their games. I just said for what he's done on that Warriors team, and he has the credentials to go along with it, defensive players of the year and things like that, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. I think he's going to be a Hall of Famer.
With that being said, speaking to this topic, he believes he's worth more to the team, and he's asking for a 4-year max contract. Do you feel like he's worth that?
I'll answer that. Be real with you.
Be real.
You know my short
He's
answer.
not worth the max. I'm not gonna pay him the max only because you've been in the luxury tax so many times. You play with that. Unlike the Celtics, the Warriors have gambled. You can only gamble so much. You know what I'm saying? They already gambled on extending him. They already extended Draymond. And they gave him a 4 years.
Wait, earlier in the show you said you got to gamble.
No. They gambled already. They've been gambling for years. They're over the luxury tax every year.
No, okay.
No.
Now,
If you keep gambling, you become an addict. Right? You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is they already gambled and given him 4 years. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's improved his game. So now when you're asking for a 4-year, $164 million max, when you've already been over the luxury tax for the last 4 seasons and whatnot, the contract you've signed, and a lot of players have been hurt. Klay Thompson, Steph's been hurt for a few years. Klay was hurt. It's kind of like, why would I do that? And that's not disrespecting Draymond or anything. But to me, I wouldn't give it to him. I'm the Warriors team that now I'm trying to keep winning championships and trying to move my team. You know what I'm saying? Draymond's had his reign of championships in Supreme. If you want to keep him over there, hey, Draymond, take the happy premium from the Warriors. But it doesn't seem like with everything Draymond's doing, the podcasting and getting his name out there more and more, he's going to want to take that short. And that's what we're coming to right now. Draymond being bigger than the Warriors team. And we've seen that for the last few years with him. And
it's funny, because it's like you're talking about ice and not even mentioning the water. Like, that's what NIL, this whole contract is breeding.
I knew you were going to get to that.
Yes, that's why I'm sitting here. I'm like, bro, are you not really hearing what you're saying?
I am really. What does NIL have to do? What does NIL have to do with a professional basketball league where they're already getting paid and the market's already there?
Yeah, look what you said. You said it's bigger than him because you letting these people get individualized.
I was talking about NIL guys that have been booty raped. They've been raped.
Always stood against.
Student athletes have been raped their whole lives. In terms of everything, student athletes have been raped their whole lives. NBA players have not been raped their whole lives. The market gets bigger every year. Every year, it gets bigger. every year it gets bigger. So you can't compare the NIL and NBA. You never can. You know why?
I
'Cause
say
the
what?
NBA
That's the
forever.
start. These, you know what? You know, before professional NBA players, they were student athletes. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
and Draymond
Before
Green
student
didn't live the
athletes,
student
they were
athlete
park
life.
ball
He
athletes.
didn't live the
I'm
student
just
athlete
saying.
life when he got paid. He had to go through the struggle. He had to go through the grind.
But that's what I'm talking about. But y'all were fussing at me the other day when I said, hey, you know what? Not having in college and all that builds character. But now you're saying you got to go through a period of time where you don't have.
No, he's been a warrior forever. If a guy's game is less and less in value every year, why would you give him more money to stay?
That part. So Will says, let him walk.
You can't. Hold on.
They have
The
young
NIL
players
money is money.
I agree.
A lot of those players ain't getting yearly NIL money contracts. They're not. A lot of these NIL players are not going to recoup and extend contracts. Like we can't talk about the NIL.
Okay, but listen, now listen to this. Okay, this kid, all right, coming from college has an NIL deal, right? He's making he has a hundred, let's say a multi-million-dollar NIL deal, right? So are you expecting the same team to pay this young man all this money after he's making all this money already?
If he's producing like it,
no, coming out of college, that's what I'm saying. He already has all this money. So you're expecting the team that's drafted him to break the bank on a kid that has a multi-million-dollar NIL deal?
it's a professional sport now. It's
Hey.
a different lane now. It's a different lane now.
It's
It's a different lane now. If the NFL, hold on, if the NFL says, hey, like for instance, I'll throw that right back at you. An NIL player is getting paid a total salary. He plays 3 years, the eligibility before you can go into the league or whatever. He makes a total of $40 million throughout his whole NIL career. And then he goes to the NFL. The NFL sets their market for players based on the draft. So the NFL basically can set their own number, practice their own number. He can't go back to college. So at the end of the day, you can't compare that. There's no comparison.
We're not. What I'm telling you, I'm forecasting. I'm not comparison. Now, shout out to what shout out because he's saying you get paid what you're worth, but you're in an organized. You're on a team, bro. Like you got to understand. You know what? Just like at your job or wherever, someone is designated the team captain. Does that mean that they're the best person for it? Hey, no. That just means the people on their team voted that guy the team captain. And guess what? The people on that team, their job is to make sure that their team captain is successful. So how is it that that's their worth?
And Draymond Green, he's been lucky for so long that the organization has put that trust and support in him to give him money. He got a 4-year deal when his kind of basketball statistics were going down. So now at a point where, okay, you're just going to say we won a championship, but we seen what you did in the finals. You know what I'm saying? And we seen what you did in prior years. You're a defensive player. Like Marcus Smart. I'm not going to give $164 million 4 years to Marcus Smart, a defensive player. I'm not going to do that because at the end of the day, I'm going to need offense at some point. The Warriors are running on highly offense. That's what they run their team on. Scheme and offense and getting the ball in the hoop. I'm going to let Dre go. I'm going to let the rest of those young guys develop. And Dre Rose going to get that money somewhere else because the market's going to give it to him. The market's going to give it to him.
Put it up there, but you're not reading what he's saying.
Y'all going at it.
I'm saying, like, you got to put up what he's reading. I'm seeing his comments, so I'm getting dizzy. Like, you gonna say what he's saying? He says, "What does that have to do with this convo? What are you talking about? What does what have to do with this convo?"
In fact, I'm sure you get paid.
Huh?
The original question was, does he deserve that money?
He don't deserve that money from the Warriors. No, he don't deserve that money from the Warriors. He don't.
But we always say, get what you can get.
Y'all say that.
I do.
I say, I'm with Dirt and Whiskey. Play for the team.
Play for the team. Exactly.
He's a rarity.
But
at the end of the day, I don't think anyone, honestly, I don't think any player's worth all that crazy ass amount of money. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, because they got fans.
I think they are.
That's going there that can't afford to get to that.
I think
they can't afford this thing.
I think they. You know why I think they are?
So you think
if they don't get their money, it's going to somebody.
No. Look what you're comparing. I asked. So what does a person do that makes you think a player, NBA or whomever, that they deserve these crazy amount of contracts? I don't see that.
The way they set the markets, the way they go up every year.
No, you're talking about the system. What a person, I'm saying a player. What is a player? Can he jump from from the skyscraper? Is he Superman? Like, what is a player? I'm saying, what does a player do where he needs $100 million? That's what I'm saying. So right now, tell me one player.
Because
it's the market.
If you got that pool of money that's there, if you got that pool of money, if you have that pool of money there, you got $100 million. We'll just leave it a whole number, and that money is going to go to somewhere. It's not just going to sit in infinity. Somebody's got to get that money.
Y'all everyone keep talking about the market. You know, my question is, I said, I don't believe people deserve that should get paid that large amount of money in athletics. That's what I said. That's my stance. What is a person? Is he Superman? Is he flying up in the sky that's going to get him $500 million?
Then what do you suggest?
It's what the market suggests. Is these people?
It
was up to you. It was up to you. You wouldn't pay nobody no dollars.
You know what? When you have an interview, you interview people. It's like, you know what? Hey, this guy has all the qualifications. He can program. He can script. He has all. This guy deserves this amount of money. That's what I'm asking. What is that? What does I understand the market? Just like in work, it's a COLA cost of living. That that designates the amount of salary. But what is it that a person or a player does that deserves that? Because to me, leadership, if I'm going to pay someone that crazy amount of money, is leadership. I'm not going to pay all that money for talent. I'm going to pay for
the NBA. You have to pay more talent. The ball has to get in the hoop.
Because if you don't pay that, then your team is going to be shitty. Your fans are not going to come support you. You ain't making no money.
That sounds like Portland.
Jay Marshall go to Portland. They got money for him. Jay won't go to Portland right now. 164 is on the table right now for. It's the
and
market.
I agree with the statement from Will. What does a billionaire do to deserve his billion?
He doesn't get that contract from the Warriors. Some team is gonna go
he has the mindset of a billionaire, bro. Listen, do you hear Donald Trump talk? Look what you said. Do you hear LeBron James talk? He's a billionaire.
Would the NBA be the NBA without the players?
Yeah.
No, it would not.
Are you serious?
It would be the G League.
Are you serious, bro?
It would be the G League.
Are you serious?
It would be the WNBA.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Without the players.
Without the players. The NBA was a failing league until Bird and Magic came in. Those two players flipped the league. NBA said, oh, we market our players. Revenue comes in.
Mm-hmm.
NBA would not be the NBA without the league.
So, the
players.
So who was the coach? Popovich. She said the NBA would not be the NBA without black players. So I guess you're going to validate that statement.
That's true. That's true.
It's a damn true statement. You see why these white owners ain't drafting white players in the NBA because they know what's making the money.
Now you see the avenue we're going down. I'm listening. Keep talking.
No, but I don't need to go down the avenue. We on the street right now.
Keep going. But that's what I'm saying. That's
They're smart. The owners are smart for who they go pick. That's real talk.
And that's why the players came up with the NFLPA, because in the past, they weren't getting paid their worth. All the money was going into the owners' pockets.
I agree.
And some of these dudes was having to have off-season jobs while the owners pocketing all this money.
But what are they doing when they get all this money? What are they doing? They're crashing cars. They're going out being reckless. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I keep saying. Like,
that's a personality flaw.
But
that
has a lot to do with money, because once you have money, you think you can do everything. So Alvin Kamara, he just got a big contract. What he's doing?
Absolutely, Will. You absolutely can. We're gonna get you on the show one day, Will. Man, I see you. He wants to come in and join for one of our segments in our shows, man. Ready to go.
So I'm gonna ask you this: we have this beautiful studio out here in Arlington, Texas. Come holler at your boys.
That is true.
So if somebody comes up to us and say, "Hey, you know what? I don't think that the prices that you have set for your facilities is worth it."
Okay.
How would you feel about that?
What type of way? That means my business is not for you.
Okay, so we got no revenue coming in. So then we're going to do it.
What Mercedes do? You go and price haggle a Mercedes lot? That's my response. Evidently, you're not ready to drive a Mercedes, because you need to go to the mom and pop shops.
These players are Mercedes. How? If you're not going to pay me what I think you should pay me.
Time out. So these players have a coach, right?
Yeah.
So how are they Mercedes? They still need to be coached.
No, they don't need to be coached.
Who?
They don't need to be coached.
Okay, shout out to LeBron James and the LA Lakers. He proved that players need to be coached.
Nah, they don't need to be coached.
They need to be coached.
They don't need to be coached.
They're going to fail.
So which came first, chicken or the egg? We can do this all day.
The chicken hawk.
The chicken hawk.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I just feel like, hey, it's a statistic. Some people with money act in a decent way, and some people with money, it's
That's
like
a whole another show topic because actually that's more of a cultural thing than anything.
It is a
That's
cultural thing.
whole
Absolutely. Right on the money. Absolutely. Right on the bag. You know? See.
It might be next Wednesday. You motherfuckers might need to tune in.
Hey, you heard it?
Ain't nobody about it. Tune in.
Like that.
Holla at your boys.
All right, so before we get up out of here, so we're gonna take what Will's statement. He said, so because they spend the money wrong, they don't deserve the money. You said it. I just painted the picture. You said it. Thank you.
Hey, Will, I feel you, man. I think they should get their money. Unc want a sweatshop. Unc like, pay me, take the stipend. That's good shit, man. Good shit.
Oh, man.
So I guess it's time for us to say our goodbyes now, huh? So give our shout outs. This is always the hardest part to say, I'm like, man.
I feel like we at the table chopping it up. This is the atmosphere we have.
That is true.
Invite your peeps up here, come hang out and holler at your boys, man.
That's true. We're gonna be here every day of the week. Pick it up. So definitely, start this Monday. We're gonna be open. Studio's gonna be open. Y'all could definitely pull up, get a rental spot, get y'all a photo. We got photo booths, we got podcast booths, we got it all. So definitely look us up out here in Arlington.
Yes, and I'm gonna be out in Arlington soon. So I'm gonna take me a photo in a photo booth. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna say
when you rock the Starbucks jersey or your TO jersey.
Yes.
Hey man, definitely give a shout out to my big bro Lando, man. Appreciate you for shout out to us. So he's he's been out there internationally, man. So glad to see you in the States. Appreciate that.
Let's don't go to Russia, man.
Hey, he's been in different grounds close to that.
Oh, okay.
So I guess I'll start out with mine gonna be kind of sad.
Oh shit, I don't got time for that.
But hey, man, on the cool though. Appreciate you guys tonight. Have fun hanging out with y'all. Everybody that tuned in, Will, Bayou. Had a lot of people in here tonight again. A lot of comments. But family, love y'all. I want to give a special shout out to my brother, man, my best friend from high school, Stacey, man. If you're out there, you got a chance to listen. Condolences to you and your family, man. He lost his wife last night, man. Much love for you, dog. Stay strong, and we got you.
Who is we?
We got you. We got you. We family. We got you,
bro. Stay strong,
man. All right. I'm sad now.
I know. I told you it's gonna be sad, man.
You should have said that for last, man. We should have went out to that, man.
Hey, no, you actually pick us back up.
Hey, no, I can't pick.
Do the Uncle Leroy thing, man.
Hey, man, look, Uncle Leroy ain't gone.
Uncle Leroy, that dude, man.
Look, hey, that just owe you money. But this is dude Uncle Leroy. Don't say the Leroy without the Junior, man. Definitely give a shout out to everybody that support the brand. We got big things coming. Shout out to everybody in our fantasy football league. That's coming up. So it's going to be a great uptick in the group, uptick in everything that we do. We're going to have karaoke here in the studio. We're going to have some job fairs. We're going to have a lot of stuff going on in our studios that's opening up first week in August. So we appreciate everybody. Stay tuned with us, stick with us. We appreciate that. Check us out on Spotify, Apple iTunes, all over, everywhere where you can get your podcast providers, because we are there. But that's all I got. Till next week, tomorrow, till the next time I see y'all, these lights come on. Appreciate that. What you got, Cole? 2. I'm going to call you Coach Lee.
Call me Coach Lee, man. I don't mind that. Shout out to you two, first off, man, providing the platform for me and everybody in the world to hear us out. Shout out to everybody that tuned in, support, as Leroy said, to Junior. You got to say to Junior. You know what I'm saying? Catch us on all streaming platforms, for real, man. Everything, a share, a listen, everything counts, everything matters. You know what I'm saying? We come here, we give our blood, sweat, and tears, for an hour, sometimes an hour and a half. But in all, we love it. We love y'all, man. Keep supporting, man. We see y'all on Monday for some more.
Peace out.